right, newly released footage shows a Chinese Coast Guard vessel crashing into one of its own warships. It was chasing vessels from the Philippines in the highly contested South China Sea. We'll show you that video, I think. CNN international correspondent Mark Stewart in Beijing with the latest on this. Mark.
Yeah, hi, John. I will tell you this. Anyone who lives in this part of the world, we all know that the South China Sea is a very volatile part of real estate, and what happened here certainly had the potential to be much worse. Let's watch this video together, and you will see this Chinese warship colliding with a Chinese Coast Guard ship. As you mentioned, they were chasing some boats from the Philippines. The Coast Guard ship, the Chinese Coast Guard ship, was so damaged it took off part of its bow. And as you can see there, the water is very choppy. At the time of this whole incident, 3 Chinese Coast Guard members were actually on the bow of the boat when the impact happened. I think you can see that in the video. This video, I should point out, was all captured by the Philippine Coast Guard. And according to an official from the Philippine Coast Guard, they were being chased at a high rate of speed when this happened. There were some pictures. You saw a water cannon. The Philippines boat was also being targeted with a water cannon. It avoided being hit. You see those images there. At the time this all happened, according to an official, a high-ranking officer from the Philippine Coast Guard, they claim that they were trying to get some aid to some fishermen. Now, here's the important context here. This happened in an area known as the Scarborough Shoal. It's something we've talked about before. It falls within the Philippines economic zone, but China has had a constant presence there for years. That's according to the Asia Maritime Transparency issue. It is important to stress that things could have worse because both of these nations claim rights to this waterway. China is blaming the Philippines, saying that it's just trying to disguise this as some kind of aid mission. The Coast Guard says it was operating within the law. I think another final point to mention, John, is that China is not calling this a collision. In fact, its military officials are not even using that word to describe what transpired.
Well, I mean, doesn't change what happened, what they're calling it. Those ships certainly ran into one another right there on the high seas, and that footage proves it. Mark Stewart, thanks so much for being with us.